Hello everyone, welcome back to my vlog again. Yeah, so in this end of the day, I want to talk about something that has been on my mind lately. Growing up. Yeah, like just talking about a topic. Honestly, the older I get, the more I realize that growing up is a really strange experience. When we were younger, we always want to grow up faster. I know we do it. As kids, we thought becoming older would automatically make life easier, happier, and more exciting. We imagined freedom. No school rules, no restrictions, no one telling us what to do. And honestly, being older does come with more freedom. But yeah, like nobody really tells you how confusing growing up can feel sometimes. One day you feel mature and confident about life, and the next day you suddenly feel lost again. Like, yeah, sometimes I still feel like a child mentally, even though life expects me to act like an adult. And honestly, I think many people secretly feel the same way. Growing up means slowly realizing that life is not as simple as we imagined when we were younger. As children, happiness comes from small things: playing games, watching cartoons, eating favorite food, spending time with friends without worrying about the future. Life felt lighter. But as we grow older, our minds become fuller. We start thinking about responsibilities, money, careers, expectations, relationships, and the future. And sometimes all of those thoughts become overwhelming. One thing I notice about growing up is how fast time moves. When we were kids, 1 year felt so long, but now weeks and months pass so quickly. Sometimes I suddenly realize, wait, it's already another year? And honestly, that feeling feels scary sometimes. Because it makes me realize that life keeps moving forward no matter what. Another strange thing about growing up is how people slowly change. Friendship change, priorities change, dreams change. Some people who used to be close slowly become distant. Some conversations become shorter. Some memories only stay in a bodies and old message. And honestly, that part of growing up feels sad sometimes. Not because anyone is wrong, but because life simply moves people in different direction. I think one painful part of growing up is realizing that not everything lasts forever. Some moments only happen once. Some people only stay for certain chapters of life. And learning to accept that is not easy. Growing up also means learning more about ourselves. Sometimes we discover new strengths. Sometimes we discover insecurities we never noticed before. There are moments when I feel confident about who I am, but yeah, there are also moments when I question myself deeply. Am I on the right path? What kind of person do I want to become? Am I wasting my time? Am I moving too slowly in life? And honestly, those thoughts can become very heavy at night. Especially when comparing ourselves to other people. Social media makes growing up feel even more confusing sometimes. Every day we see people achieving things, becoming successful, traveling, building careers, and looking happy online. And sometimes it creates pressure without us realizing it. We start feeling like we are behind in life, but over the time, I realized something important. Everyone has different timing. Some people succeed early, some people take longer, some people are still trying to figure life out quietly. And none of those journeys are wrong. Another thing nobody tells you about growing up is how tiring our thinking can become. As a children, we sleep peacefully without worrying much. But now, sometimes there stays in our head for hours at night, thinking about the future, thinking about the mistake, thinking about whether we are good enough. And honestly, sometimes the minds become our biggest source of stress. Sometimes I wish life came with instruction, because honestly, adulthood often feels like trying to solve problems while still learning who you are at the same time. There are moments when I feel motivated and optimistic about life, but there are also moments when I feel completely confused about everything, about a single thing. And maybe that emotional inconsistency is part of growing up too. Another thing I realized, that growing up changed the way we see happiness. When we were when we were younger, like happiness usually came from excitement, but now peace feels more valuable. Having a calm mind, eating enough rest, spending time with the people who genuinely care about us, feeling emotionally safe. Those things becomes more meaningful as we grow older. I noticed that growing up teach people how to hide emotion better. When children are sad, they cry openly, especially me. But adults often smile or carrying stress silently apart. Sometimes people look completely okay on the outside while they're struggling deeply inside. And honestly, I think many people are emotionally tired without solving it. That is why kindness matters so much, because we never fully know what someone else is dealing with internally. Small act of kindness can change someone's entire day. Growing up as a teach painful lessons about disappointment. Sometimes people disappoint us. Sometimes life does not go according to plan. Sometimes things we work hard for still fail. And honestly, accepting disappointment is difficult. So difficult, especially when we had high hope for something. But over the time, I slowly realized that disappointment is part of life too. That everything just happened in this world, even that's like not a really good thing. That's like the part of the life. So we just need to do it. Not every chapter, not every chapter will feel beautiful. Not every moment will feel fair. But difficult experience also help us grow emotionally strong. Another strange part of growing up is becoming more aware of the time. As a children, we rarely talk about time deeply, but now time suddenly feels important. We think about the future more, and we think about goals. We think about whether we are, yeah, think about whether we are doing enough with our lives. And honestly, that pressure can become exhausting sometimes, especially especially when the society constantly makes people feel like they need to achieve something quickly. This is pressure to success, pressure to have plans, pressure to know exactly what we want in life, pressure to have a lot of money, everything. But the truth is, many people are still figuring this out, even adults, and realizing that honestly made me feel calmer. Because maybe life is not supposed to be completely understood all at once. Like maybe people are simply learning as they go. Another thing I appreciate about growing up is becoming more emotionally aware. As we become older, we slowly understand what kind of people or environments affect our mental peace. We learn which conversation drain us, which people support us, which situations help us grow, and slowly we become more protective of our energy. I think growing up also teach boundaries. Not every problem is ours to carry. Not every opinion needs a reaction. Not every relationship is healthy for us. And honestly, learning those things change the way we live emotionally. Yeah, we have a lot of things like the difficult, but growing up. The example, learning to accept ourselves honestly, accepting flaws, accepting mistakes, accepting imperfection. Because nobody's perfect, bro. Nobody's perfect. And sometimes we spend too much time to trying to become the version of ourselves that other people expect. We just live for person from the other people, not for us. Like that's not the truth. When we're just growing up, just slowly teach us that real peace come from authentic, bro, not the perfection. One thing I truly miss about childhood is how simple life used to feel. Children usually live in the present moment. They love easily, they forgive easily, they enjoy small things naturally. But as people grow older, the mind becomes more complicated. Stress increase, expectation increase, responsibility increase. Sometimes we forget how to enjoy simple moments. Yeah, That's all like the process of our life. We grew older, we're getting more better. That's life. The important thing that we need to do is, yeah, to be is to do, and to do is to be. It is what it is. So what we can do, just do it. Bye bye.